do the clock. Hey everybody, it's Sherry Fredericks. Welcome to the weekly Zoom calls of the Dream Achievers team. We have a special guest this evening, Margaret Thompson. Thank you so much for coming. And I will properly introduce her when we get to that part of our Zoom meeting. Great to see your smiling faces. And tonight we are going to talk about parties and income producing activities. But before we get to that, I wanted to talk about victories. Who wants to shout out? And then I'm going to share with you, after you share your victories, we're just going to recap on the really good sales and sponsoring efforts in June. So who would like to start out with a victory, big or small, preferably business related? Don't all talk at once. Okay, I'll start then. I can't remember what my July looked like in June, but it was not where I wanted it to be. I think I had maybe 2 income producing activities, and I took some time to reach out, either private message, which was many of them. I think I shared what I did. Anyway, I have 13 income producing activities in July. So 13, you know, I figure if I'm going to do an online party in 1 week, I might as well do 5. Why not? You know, I use SynShare. So anyway, I'm excited to share with you that I have 13 income producing activities. So how about the rest of you? Hi Barb, Shelly's here, B's here. I don't see O, but I see B. We're starting out with some victories. Who wants to share, big or small?
I can go. I have 7 for July.
Yes, 7 is great, Sheila. That's fantastic. Are they in person, online, or a combination? I bet.
I have some tasting, I have some online, and I have a fundraiser.
Fantastic. That'll be a great way to start your July out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else want to share, big or small? You guys are quiet tonight. How about simple like this? I had someone reach out to me and I delivered some product today at Thrifty White Drugstore in Wapaton. And as I was giving her the package, there's a girl behind her. She's a worker. She's like, just wait. So she talked to me after I got done giving this other girl 4 spinach and artichoke warm dips. Isn't that crazy? She wanted 4 of them. And she goes, hey, do you have sweet pepper jalapeno jam? I'll take 2. So it's so fun when you go into a business and drop something off, you know, so victories can be big or small, you guys. I just sold some more products. So that was exciting. And then I always remind people, do you guys do this? For those of you that have inventory, I remind them I always have inventory on hand. I know Twyla, you do. You know, let me know if you need something. I'll just drop it off on my way into water aerobics or on my way. I work out of my home, but you know what I'm saying? So remind people that you have that service. So, okay, well then let me share. I want to remind you guys on why is that there? I want to show you and remind you. We've got some hot people on this. Twyla, I can't believe you didn't share it's amazing month. So here's top sales for the entire team for the month of June. Look at Twyla, you're down there. You're at almost $4 grand. You did fantastic. And as you can see, the others did really well too. Oh, Sheila, look at you. I can't even read that number, but it looks like you were almost at $4,000, Sheila. That's a great picture of you, by the way. So wonderful, wonderful. And then, so that's the entire team. And Lisa Burns, she'll have to do a training. Like, how did she sell 15,000 in 1 month, right? And then here's First Line. And Sheila, you're number 4. And I don't see anybody else that's on the call, but again, look at these numbers. Rebecca did 5,000, Andrea 4, Sheila, like I said, almost 4. So what an exciting month. And then our top sponsor, and Kim always works at the dance studio on Monday nights, but Kim Harris, what a cute picture of her, sponsored 2 new consultants in June. So A great month, you guys. Very exciting. And I'm going to go into announcements, and I just want to share with you, in case you haven't noticed, Taste Play Simple is making magic, and our next incentive trip is Coronado Springs, a resort on the Disney complex or compound or whatever you want to say. So, and I know Margaret is doing a training. So it's our incentive trip. And this, usually I'll just say, usually we go somewhere warm like Mexico. I mean, Orlando will be warm and we're on a beach, but they got feedback and there were some people that didn't want to go international, meaning going to Mexico. So we're trying something different. And we were at Coronado Springs in 2011. It was a leadership conference. It was a very nice resort and we had so much fun. So this is something you can either go with your adult friends or you can bring your family or your husband and, do whatever you want. I think Sheila said there's four pools at this place. So if you don't want to do Disney, just go relax at the pool. If you do want to do Disney, here is your opportunity. So Margaret is doing a call on Wednesday at 7 on Zoom. And I know it's in your message center to help you plan how to earn that. So that's exciting, Margaret. Anything you want to say about that, Margaret?
Well, I think that the incentive trip there's just so many different things that you can do because I mean you could go to Universal Studios, but if you've never been to Epcot, you can make Epcot be like a couples thing, like we go down there for the food and beverage show probably won't be going on, at the same time of the year that you all will be there. But that's like our favorite place to go just for me and my husband, because there's just so many restaurants and, just things to do. To me, Epcot's more of an adult getaway. But anyway, the way that this trip is structured, the incentive trip is that you've got dollars, like Disney dollars, to spend. And so you can customize your own vacation depending upon who you want to take with. And I just think it's like really exciting. And I've been already begging them to let me come. I'll haul your luggage for you. Just
Margaret, yeah, they probably need you to help. That would be awesome. That would be super fun. The other thing is, you're only about an hour from Cocoa Beach. So you could rent a vehicle, like a couple of you go together and rent a car and you could just go to Cocoa Beach.
Well, check out the venues, because like during that same time period, like there may be some major artists coming to Orlando that you could buy show tickets for. I mean, definitely Google and see what else is going on during that time, because you could really you could pack a lot of exciting things into that. And I heard that they renovated the Coronado Springs Resort.
Yes,
so it's all like brand new and very nice.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I still like to go to Magic Kingdom. And it is kind of fun to go without kids because it's just such a different experience. My favorite ride is It's a Small World. I still love that. Even Space Mountain. I mean, it's like you can go have fun and enjoy all that as an adult. Okay, so make that happen, you guys. We had so much fun at our last incentive trip. We're going to have even more fun at Cabo. And Taste Play Simple, Margaret, I talked to Stephanie. They were going to be sharing the official Cabo list the beginning of this week, is what Stephanie had told me. So we will obviously promote that on the team page, but that would be on the Taste Play Simple. I mean, I know you guys all know what you did, but on the Independent Consultant Facebook pages, we'll officially announce who earned that. So that's exciting. A couple other things. Who's going to earn that insulated tote? Hello. I know the rest of you are raising your hands. So to remember, it's $1,000. Or Shelly, raise your hand. Or sponsor someone. And Margaret, do they have to activate? I can't remember. I didn't look at that. Sponsor someone
200.
And sell 200 by the end of the month. So it can happen. So promote that with your team as well. And then to remind you, those of you going to Party Palooza, that's coming up. So if you have questions, you can hang on it after this meeting. If you haven't signed up and you want to do virtual, you still can do that. And then I am hosting our product premiere at my house August 25th at 6:30. I know some of you were there last year. Twyla, you and your husband came and they had just bought a brand new camper, or new to them anyway. It would look brand new to me. Is it brand new? Was it brand new?
That's a 2019. So it was
Yeah,
a couple
look.
years old.
Yeah, it looked brand new to me. It was absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, they spent the night. That was so cool. So I know I learned a lot that night, and it's always fun. Everybody brings a dish to share using the new product. So if you're too far from me and you want to do that in your neck of the woods, consider it, because it was just a really fun social. Don't you think, Twyla? Yeah, and it was such a great way to try all the new products. Even if you're going to be at Party Palooza and try them, it's always different in a smaller setting. So hopefully you can come to the one I'm hosting, or gather your people in your neck of the woods and do the same. Okay, next up is our product knowledge segment, and I didn't find somebody to do it, so guess what? That means I do it. And look what is behind me. Can anybody see the prickly pear cooler? So let me share with you a few things. So raise your hand if you like the flavor of strawberry. How about raise your hand if you like the flavor of watermelon? And what if you liked a little bit of bubble gum and you had a mix in your cupboard that had watermelon, a little bit of strawberry, and a tush of bubble gum, and you could make a really yummy drink like it shows. If you like a prickly pear margarita, you can just add some tequila. The recipe's online. Prickly pear is a cactus, and what they do is they harvest the flower, but the flavor is a little bit of strawberry, a little bit of watermelon, a little bit of bubble gum. And what if you wanted to make a really fun fruit dip? Prickly pear. You just add, the recipe's online. It's just the old cream cheese and marshmallow cream. How yummy is that? You can also, the recipe on the back, you just mix it with water and you have a really refreshing prickly pear drink. But I think the margarita, the prickly pear margarita, why go to Mexican Village or some Mexican place and spend $8 when you can make your own at home, or you're going camping or whatever. So who would love a prickly pear cooler drink mix? Wouldn't that be fun? It's our limited time offer for the month of July. It is $9.99. So I would encourage you. I just think that fruit dip sounds so yummy. Has anybody made the drink this time around? Have you, Sheila and Ange? Okay, good.
Did you
All
guys
right.
make it with vodka, or did you make a margarita? Because I love prickly pear margaritas.
Coconut rum.
Oh, good idea.
Oh, you did coconut rum. Oh my gosh. Who said that, Angie?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
I
that
look
is
right. It is so good.
the coconut rum.
I just made it with water and just served it over ice. But in the past, when we had it, I used lemonade, prickly pear cooler, and vodka over ice, and that was delish.
Okay, and of course, the margarita would be tequila, but you can do whatever you want. But I am going to do coconut rum.
I do cut it down quite a bit from what they say to use. I use about half.
Of the prickly pear or the rum?
Prickly pear. I use all the rum.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll find that it's full of flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So excellent. Well, that's something fun. So that is our limited time offer for the month of July. Any other comments, or has anybody made? I know Rebecca, are you on? She said she made the cheesecake, and she said it was the best. So if you need a fun little dessert, it's a prickly pear cheesecake recipe, and like always, it's just the frozen whipped topping and cream cheese and a graham cracker crust. So I know she's on mute. I think she's got kiddos in the car, but she said it was devoured. So drink, a cheesecake, a fruit dip. Talk about versatility, right? So add that to your next cart. Make sure you're talking about it at your parties. It looks refreshing, and yeah, have fun with it. Okay, well, next up I better stop talking, Margaret. Is Margaret Thompson, Tastefully Simple HQ Direct Sales Manager. Did you guys know that Margaret has been with Tastefully Simple for 18 years? What?
I know.
18 years. That's fantastic. I can't believe it's been that long. Margaret is married to Ron, and they live in Jacksonville, Florida. So when she said she would be happy to help Tastefully Simple at that incentive trip, she can just drive down there.
She's 2 hours from me.
Margaret, you need to drive down there either way, okay? I'm just saying, either way. She said, we have 4 grown children between the 4 of us, and my daughter's expecting, oh, your daughter Mariah.
Yeah, Elizabeth Mariah. That's
Wait,
we
Elizabeth
have something
Mariah.
in common because like her daughter and my daughter share that name, Mariah. So, and they were both in England at the same time.
Isn't that the coolest?
Yeah.
I didn't know she was expecting. So your first grandchild in January. Oh, you're gonna love that.
Yeah.
So much fun. And I asked her her favorite Tastefully Simple product, and she said that is a hard question. My personal favorite is the seasoned pepper. We use it in place of pepper and everything, and I agree that is a fantastic product.
Yeah.
So Margaret is going to talk about income-producing activities in July and August. So welcome, Margaret.
Thank you. And I'm setting my timer, so I'm going to make sure that I don't run over. Okay. So what I wanted to talk about is booking parties, whatever type of parties or activities that you're interested in offering your clients. And, you know, it's funny when people are talking about like how to book parties, it always reminds me of when I would, and you wave your hand like if this has happened to you, but I would call my clients that hadn't hosted in a long time. And when I brought the subject of hosting a party, sometimes they go, oh, my friends and I were just talking about that. We were talking the other day. Has this ever happened to you? And it always made me go, well, why didn't you call me? You know, it just seems so weird that they have this conversation and not pick up the phone and book a party with me. And then, you know, after that happened for a long time, it dawned on me that that's because it's my job to ask them. You know, they're waiting for me to ask them. They expect me to ask them. And think about the last time that you went to any type of direct sales party, if the consultant never brought up booking, what would you think? I mean, would you be wondering why? I mean, I would. I'd be thinking, they must be new. They must not know what they're doing. Like if they never brought up the subject, you know, maybe they just don't know any better. And well, I don't want people thinking that about me. I don't want, you know, I decided a long time ago, I would rather them tell me no, they're not interested in having a party than to walk away thinking that I don't know what I'm doing. So bottom line, you know, your clients have the right to say no when you ask them, but you don't have the right to not ask because it is part of your job. And a lot of them are expecting you to ask, just like when, you know, you go to a party, they know that that's part of the flow of the party. So it's part of your job. And this is a great time to ask people to host parties because gosh, July, we've got this double host reward. You know, we've never done that before. If there was, if you care about your clients, I'd be calling those people, the people that you care about the most and make sure they know because you know, that's why wouldn't you want your best clients to know about the best special that we've had? And what you could be offering them, you know, one of the things that keeps people from what makes a host hesitate to book, like go ahead and book a party is that they're thinking, will my friends come? You know, everyone's worried, like, will I get a good turnout? And so I like to share what's in it for the friends as well as the host, just to make sure that, you know, they're covered there, that they can be confident that it will be a successful party. And so what can their friends earn? Well, of course, your host is really in a position to get double host rewards and get more half price items because the people that come to the party, you're going to be sharing that they can book a party in August and be the first to sample the new products or to, you know, see what's new with the fall winter line. Also, people that book a party now, friends or the host, they can all stock up on their spring, summer products before they end. So that's another really good reason. Now, another thing, I don't know, I'm sure you all have seen some of it, but we've been putting out a lot of tips for budget-friendly meals and, hacks and, ways to save money. You can incorporate those tips and hacks into your parties, and your host friends will love that because everybody's looking for less expensive ways to put dinner on the table. And we're going to continue to put out a lot of different ideas for you to use in whatever kind of party you're offering. So what I would do first is I'd reach out to people that bought any kind of spring, summer products from me and make sure that they know that they need to stock up on their favorites before, the end of the season. And I see, Sherry, you said, do you have a question? Is it? I think that, Bray, is that I think your hand was up for a while, right? It might be just a.
Yep, sorry.
That's okay. Do you have a question?
I do not.
Okay. I thought it's just a residual hand up there, but thanks for noticing, Sherry. And then also, I would reach out to anyone that hosted last July because you know what, they might be wondering why you haven't called them if it's been a while. They kind of are expecting to get asked again. I think a lot of people, think that way. Obviously, it's a good time for them to book. And let's see, what about anybody that said maybe to hosting a party? Well, you could say, how you and I have been talking about scheduling a party at some point? Well, I had to call you before I called anybody else because July is the best month to do it. We have double host rewards. And of course, anybody that booked a party at the beginning of the season, like either last fall or in February, well, they deserve a call because, you could go ahead and, tell them that the season's ending and the new season's beginning, and you want to get them on your calendar while you still have room left. So whatever you choose to say to people to book parties, I like to follow like a 4-step formula just to keep things short. I know it's hard to believe that I can be short at anything, but so basically what the little formula is it's just 4 steps. One is build a rapport whether you text them or you call them, however you're communicating. I kind of, in my mind, I think of them as my best friend. They're my new best friend, my old best friend. I mean, people just like to be included and they like to feel the love. And so I just get the mindset that whoever I'm reaching out to, I love them. I want to talk to them. I'm excited to talk to them, so that the tone of your voice or your, the way that you're communicating with them, it communicates total acceptance and, that you value them, even if they say no, they're not interested. Now, the second thing I would do is state the purpose of the call. Like, and if you do happen to be on the call, like a phone call with them, then you would ask if you caught them at a good time. But even if you're texting them, you would say, hey, because you purchased seasonal products, I wanted to make sure you're aware of a special offer. And I wanted to call you before I called anybody else. Do you have a second? Or, something like that, just so that they kind of know that what you have to share is urgent. So, whatever you're going to share with them, it could just be something that you think is important to them, that you think they would care about. Then the third thing is I would make an offer that would appeal to both the host and her friends. So, of course, that would mean host a qualifying party and get double host rewards. And you know what? Your friends, like what I'm sharing is budget-friendly tips and inexpensive meals to put on the table. And I know your friends would enjoy that. So you kind of take care of both. I wanted to call you first because you'd expressed an interest in this, and this is what I can do for your friends. And then the fourth step is just to close, ask for their decision. Like, how does that sound to you? Or I'm booking parties right now into this time period or this time period, which would be better for you? So that's, that's all it is. Build a rapport, state the purpose of the call, make them an offer for them and their friends, and then ask what they think. Because then if they say, yeah, it sounds okay, then you can go into more detail. And now also, keep in mind when you are reaching out to people and you're stating the purpose of your call, that people book for different reasons. And so that purpose can change. Like some people are just social hosts and they just want to have fun. Like if you were selling doggy doo, they'd have a doggy doo party. They don't really care, just any excuse to get together. So you could offer that, like, let's have fun together. You could, of course, if they're a fan of Tastefully Simple, like maybe they want to stock up on their seasonal favorites, you could tell them to go ahead and host a party and then use their host rewards and get it all for free. What if maybe some people want to learn something new? You could also book a party with them because they like you. Like maybe you want to try a budget-friendly theme party or a back to school party or whatever it is that you want to offer people, and then ask your past hosts, or your good clients, if they would help you out by being one of your first hosts to try out this new theme. And then, you can say, I'd love to get your feedback, and then be prepared because people love to give their opinion. So anyway, so that's just another reason that you can book a party, and it works really well. Now, if somebody is wishy-washy, I always like saying, if they hesitate at all, which if you are talking to people on the phone or you reach out to someone, they're not expecting your call or your text, they do tend to be wishy-washy because you're catching them off guard. So I like to respond if they hesitate by saying, oh, are you wondering if your friends would want to come to a Tastefully Simple party? And a lot of times people say yes, because that is the number one thing people worry about. And then you could say, oh, I totally understand how you feel, because a lot of people felt the same way. And what I've found, though, is that your friends are not going to be able to tell you whether or not they could come to a party unless you give them a date. So may I make a suggestion? Why don't we just pick a tentative date? Now, this is not set in stone. It's just penciled in so that I can give you a couple of days to talk to your friends and see how they feel. And if your friends would say yes, like if you can get X amount of people to show interest, then it'd be worth doing. And if it doesn't work out, it's no big deal. What do you say? Like, would you be willing to at least talk to your friends? And if they say yes, then you can give them more details about what kind of party it is and how to, like, I'm trying to get enough people together to have this party. It's going to be a lot of fun. Wait till you meet my consultant. She's awesome. You just go ahead and tell them what they can say. Anyway, and then when you call back in 2 days, and you really do need to give them just 2 days, when you call back, they may say it didn't work out. And you can say, no problem. Is there a better day, or, for everybody? Or do you just want me to put you on my list and contact you the next time we have a good offer? But, more than 50% of the time, if you actually get them to set a tentative date and talk to their friends, they'll come back and say they want to do it. Because you know what, their friends are going, wait, okay, so you're going to have this thing and we're going to have fun together? Yeah, sure. It's easy. I don't have to talk them into having a party if I can get them to talk to their friends, because their friends will talk them into it. So anyway, so that's one of the things that I've done a lot that works really, really well. And so what I would suggest you do is to set a date for how many parties or activities you want on your calendar. And then what you want to do is create like a little rough text or a call script with a personalized message, and just make a goal to reach out to 5 people a day. And look, that's what I used to do, is I would just make it like, just reach out, even if I was leaving a message or whatever, just say, hey, I'm offering this and the next whatever, and I thought of you. I wanted to ask you or give you the first chance to book a party before I asked anybody else. And please let me know, whether you're interested or whatever. Anyway, so the odds are 1 in 5 that a warm lead will say yes. And that includes the ones that you can get to set a tentative date and check with their friends. Those are warm leads. So 1 in 5, well, actually it'll probably be closer to 1 in 3 for those people. But 1 in 5 for warm leads, 1 out of 10 will say yes if it's a colder lead. And anyway, so the point is you just don't worry about it. If you're doing the connections, it will all pay off. I promise you, those people that are going, yeah, we were just talking about you the other day. Those people are going to say yes to hosting a party. You just need to find out who they are. And so you just work on it each day until you have the number of parties that you want. And if they come back and they say, no, I'm not interested, then just ask, are you saying no, not ever, or, not now? If they say not ever, then you just say, okay, I understand, no problem. And if you change your mind, please let me know, because I would love to treat you to some free products. And in the meantime, can I add you to my VIP list? So that's how you handle a no. And if they say not now, then just ask them when they would like to do it, and then put them on your list to call that next month. So if you just keep that little system in place and just keep reaching out, I promise you that it builds a list of people to call, and you will be able to keep your calendar full. I promise you, if you just keep working it, because it does build over time. And that's it. That's my 15 minutes.
Margaret, you're awesome. Wow, that's great. I agree with absolutely everything you said. And it works. You just need to do, a little bit of time, like 5 a day. Ask 5 people a day. And Margaret talked about calling them, which is most likely what Margaret did when she was doing it. But now, you can private message. You can text her.
Yeah.
I like private message because I can see if they have seen it, as you know. So who has some questions for Margaret? Do we have any questions?
I have a question. You were talking about reaching out via private message, and obviously I've been doing a lot of that this month because of the double rewards. And like you said, you can see if they've opened it. I have had so many that have opened it and have not responded at all. What do you do?
Margaret, can I reply to
Yeah,
that?
sure.
So it happens all the time. And I always say it's kind of like on the fly. Don't you ever open up a private message and go, I'll get back to that later? So that's probably what's happening. And I give them 3 strikes and they're out, Christy. I don't say that to them, but it's just like in the olden days when I'd call people, 3 strikes and they're out, and I'll talk to them again next month. So I specifically say, hey, Christy, I just wanted to loop back with you. I had, messaged you the other day about this amazing July double rewards. Are you interested in a tasting party? ? And then you can do it a 3rd time if you would like. And if they don't answer by then, obviously move on. But there's a lot of times when I do that, hey, I'm just looping back. Or if you're like, I don't want to bug you, you can say that. And then they'll get back to you and go, oh, that's right, I was going to get back to you, but I forgot. So just like Margaret said, it's our job. It's the same thing. You just it's the key is the follow-up. So does that make sense? Or is that what you want to hear? Or it works for me.
Well, and I've done that, but I've just done it like the first time and then a second time, and they still haven't done it. I didn't know how many times before you act like you were really bugging them.
And another thing, like, especially if they haven't booked a party with you before, is that one of the questions can be, hey, want to make sure you saw this message, and do you want me to tell you a little bit more about how it works?
Okay.
Because they may not have enough information to make a decision. So just all you're trying to do is get that line of communication open with them. So then you have a chance to sell them on the idea.
Right. Right. All
Great
right, thank you.
Great question, Christy. Anybody else have a question for Margaret? All right. Well, Margaret, I know it's late for you. It's 9:30 your time, 9:35. So thank you again for joining us. And
Sure.
Don't forget about Margaret's call on Wednesday night if you want to get yourself there, your team members there. And then we'll see Margaret at Party Palooza in Cleveland, whether you're in person or virtual. She'll be inspiring all of us. So Margaret.
Well, we're excited. Thank you all. I'm going to take off. Thank you so much
Thanks,
for
Margaret.
having me. Okay. Bye.
And you guys, stick on for a second. I'm going to stop the recording though.